Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with news tonight. Let us begin by taking a look at the top stories. All set for the winter session of Parliament from tomorrow. Government expected to introduce many key legislations to push forward economic reforms agenda. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley assures the second-generation economic reforms are around the corner. Promises to unveil several new measures in Union budget. Pope Francis confers sainthood on Sister Euphrasia and Father Kuriakos alias Shavara. Kerala celebrates event with special prayers in churches. And hopes of a deal over Iran's nuclear program recedes ahead of Monday deadline. Iran says demands of Western countries are making a comprehensive agreement unlikely. Our top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Kathmandu on Tuesday to take part in the 18th SAARC summit that will take place on 26th and 27th of November. He will also use this occasion for bilateral meetings between India and Nepal and other SAARC heads of state. The Prime Minister will return to Delhi on Thursday.
At the upcoming SAARC summit, issues of connectivity and electricity are likely to behold significance for Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Our focus during the 18th SAARC summit is on enhancement of connectivity and people-to-people contacts. Now, there are a series of recommendations for agreements that have been made. These are in the areas of transport and energy, especially electricity.
Many leaders are also likely to touch upon the issue of terror while making a conscious effort to create an atmosphere of cooperation.
Prime Minister has always emphasized since taking office that neighbors first is for him a major focus. 2 visits of the Prime Minister to Nepal in quick succession within 6 months of taking over is reflective of India's intention to raise the level of interaction and engagement with Nepal.
Prime Minister Modi had plans to visit Lumbini, Janakpur and Muktinath, but due to domestic issues, the visits have been cancelled for now. But some agreements on road transport are likely to be taken up during the visit.
Discussions have been going on increasing both rail and road connectivity. And I'm sure we will come to very successful conclusion of some of these areas of engagement.
While the possibility of a meeting between Modi and the Pakistani Premier has not been ruled out, no time has been decided as of now. Prime Minister Modi is expected to stress on SAARC as a cooperative conglomeration among close neighbours. But the government is equally clear that more pragmatic concerns will guide the relationships. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the winter session of Parliament is set to begin from Monday. The last Parliament session of the year promises to be another heated affair between the government and the opposition. The Modi government is planning to push an ambitious economic agenda against a resilient opposition looking to pin the centre on several key issues. Here are the details.
Monday will see the start of a month-long winter session of Parliament. This is the second major session of the Narendra Modi government since it came to power. It is expected to push forward the economic reforms agenda, and there are quite a few bills that are shortlisted for this session. It includes the government's intention to replace 2 ordinances, the Coal Mines Special Provisions Ordinance 2014 and the Textile Undertakings Nationalization Laws Amendment and Validation Ordinance with bills. It will also push for the long overdue Insurance Laws Amendment Bill as well as the Constitution 119th Amendment Bill 2013 to ratify the India-Bangladesh Land Agreement of 1974. Apart from these, the Goods and Services Tax Bill and amendments to the Land Acquisition Act are also likely to come up in this session.
The government has given a list of bills which we want to take up in this session of Parliament, and I hope that they will all cooperate and make the coming session of Parliament also as an effective instrument in meeting the aspirations of the people.
Naidu convened an all-party meeting on Sunday to outline government's roadmap in this session. But it was clear that opposition will be trying to pin down the Modi government on several issues. Amid a war of words over Sharda chit fund scam probe, Trinamool Congress skipped the meeting, giving a hint of what the party's attitude will be in this session. This will also be the first session after the erstwhile Janata Parivar came together on a common platform and announced plans to have a joint strategy in both houses of parliament.
जो बिल्स अभी भी पेंडिंग है वो खासकर वुमेन्स रिजर्वेशन बिल और अट्रॉसिटीज ऑन SC/STs प्रिवेंशन का एक बिल था जिसको हम ऑर्डिनेंस के रूप में लाए थे। तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि उसको तत्काल सदन में लाके उसको पास करवाना चाहिए।
कांग्रेस पार्टी को सेलेक्ट कमेटी में और जो फाइनल आजकल चलने वाली है मीटिंग में जो पॉइंट टू पॉइंट डिस्कशन होने वाला विच इन द लास्ट स्टेज, उसको JDU, CPM, TMC, BSP और SP का जो स्टैंड है, द अपोजिशन ऑफ द FDI 49% इन द इंश्योरेंस, इसका समर्थन करना चाहिए।
The primary issue which we'll be raising both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is the issue of black money. My colleagues in the Lok Sabha will speak and we will speak in the Rajya Sabha, and we want all parties to come together on this issue of black money. That is the first thing which needs to be discussed in Parliament.
However, irrespective of their differences in Maharashtra, Shiv Sena is likely to back BJP in the parliament.
जो भी सरकार का एजेंडा है, हम सरकार का हमारा जो समर्थन रहा है दोनों सदनों में वो जारी रहेगा।
The government will also introduce a bill in the lower house to include leader of the single largest opposition party to be a member of the selection panel that chooses the CBI chief. The amendment bill comes days before present CBI chief Ranjit Sinha demits office on December 2nd. With inputs from Ravindra Sharon, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in other news, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has promised to unveil a whole set of second-generation reforms in the general budget next year. He hopes that the GDP growth will cross 6% in the next financial year once the effect of all the proposed steps kicks in. He, however, acknowledged that several more steps are required to create even more positive environment.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has signalled that more reforms are underway, which will be announced in next year's general budget. He hopes the decision taken by the government will put India on the path of economic recovery and attract foreign investors. In an interview with PTI, Jaitley said that India will see more foreign and domestic investments in coming days, results of which will start showing in some time. He also hopes that GDP growth will cross 6% in the next financial year, but a lot remains to be done to ensure that.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley ji are consistently working to A, bring back the economy on the tracks, strengthen it, make it attractive for investments. Second generation reforms is something that will be a priority area, which is what he's speaking of. And he's talking about it in terms of basically making India a more attractive destination for investment and making it an excellent economic strengthening, making the economy responsive to the requirements of India and Indians.
They want to show as though they want to play the statistics in their favor. So they want to show what is the percentage of GDP, what is the percentage of spending on this sector or that sector. So they want to have some statistics to play up and show that government is performing. Actually, it is not happening on the ground.
Ahead of RBI's next monetary policy review on 2nd of December, Jaitley also pitched for an interest rate cut. He said the move will make the cost of capital reasonable to perk up the economy. RBI kept policy rates unchanged for almost 10 months, citing high inflation. However, with inflation figures down, there is a widespread expectation that RBI will cut interest rate in its upcoming monetary policy. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Pope Francis today conferred sainthood on 2 Indians and 4 Italians, saying that their creative commitment to assisting the poor had laid a path for others to follow. Francis added to the roster of Catholic saints a Carolite mystic nun, an Indian priest and social reformer, the former bishop of Treviso and Vicenza, and 3 Franciscan brothers. Special prayers were held across Kerala to mark the occasion.
Pope
Pope Francis conferred sainthood to Father Kyriakos Elias Chavara and Sister Euphrasia at the Vatican on Sunday. They were pronounced saints at a special mass at St. Peter's Square.
Il beato Kyriakos Elias Chavara della Sacra Famiglia nacque nel Kerala in India nel 1805. La beata Eufrasia Eluvatingal del Sacro Cuore nacque nel 1877 a Katuri in India e fu battezzato col nome di Rose.
The Pope also conferred sainthood on 4 Italians. He said their creative commitment to assisting the poor laid a path for others to follow.
Beatos Ioannem Antonium Farina, Ciriacum Elian Chavara a Sacra Familia, Ludovicum a Cesaurea, Nicolaum a Longobardis, Euphrasiam a Sacro Corde, et amatum Ronconi, Sanctos esse decernimus et definimus.
To celebrate their sainthood, prayers and masses were held at churches across Kerala. 50% of the Christians in the state are Catholics. With the canonization, the centuries-old Syro-Malabar Church has now 3 saints, with Sister Alfonsa being declared a saint in 2008.
Today we are praying for stop violence against women, praying for that. Racism basically about issues that is based by the northeastern community of minorities. We are praying for the child labor. We are praying for the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So basically all those good things for the India.
Kyriakos Chavara was ordained a priest in 1829. He was beatified in 1986. Chavara was a social reformer who first introduced the system called a school along with every church. It made free education available for everyone. Chavara died at the age of 65. Sister Euphrasia, on the other hand, led a life devoted to prayers. She was known as a praying mother and a saint among nuns. According to followers, she had several miracles to her credit. She died at the age of 75.
And this is a great day of glory for the whole world and for us consecrated souls, because Blessed Chavara and Blessed Euphrasia are declared saints. It's the day of days of glory, of gratefulness, and in a way for us of great humility, because they have triumphed because of their humility. And we know the Lord God is walking with us the full journey.
To witness the canonization ceremony, a 5,000-strong delegation of Kerala Catholic Church reached the Vatican. The Kerala government also deputed 2 ministers for the occasion. Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman P.J. Kurian is leading the Indian delegation. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And another news, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar commissioned a new naval intelligence network on Sunday. He inaugurated the Information Management and Analysis Centre of the Indian Navy in Gurgaon. IMAC was formulated after the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, and it brought out gaps in maritime security. Speaking on the occasion, Parrikar said that there will be zero tolerance to error in defence-related issues.
Congratulate the Indian Navy for this bold initiative, which is probably a reply from this great nation to the incident of 26/11. I hope with this nothing goes to zero, but the probability of such an event happening practically reduces to a very low figure.
This facility and its inauguration will mark a significant step towards an integrated approach to maritime and coastal security, because this is a part of the National Command, Control, Communication and Intelligence Network and will provide a comprehensive maritime domain awareness in the waters around us.
Let us now take a look at some more news from across the country in our special segment Nationwide.
Campaigning ended today for the first phase of elections in Jharkhand and Jammu and Kashmir. In this phase, on Tuesday, votes will be cast for 15 seats being contested by 123 candidates in Jammu and Kashmir and 13 seats in Jharkhand. Congress President Sonia Gandhi addressed rallies in Daltonganj and Gumla districts. She slammed the ruling BJP for making false promises. A huge cache of arms was recovered in Jammu and Kashmir ahead of the first phase of polling. 18 AK-47 rifles and 5 pistols were seized from a militant hideout in forest near the line of control in Kupwara. The army also recovered arms and ammunition from the Baramulla district as well. The recoveries included 1 sniper rifle with a magazine and 5 rounds, 2 pistols with 4 live rounds, 2 under-barrel grenade launchers along with 23 UBGL grenades. West Bengal Governor K. Srinath Tripathi will hold additional charge of Bihar. Bihar Governor Dr. D.Y. Patil completes his tenure on 26th of November. Tripathi will be in charge of Bihar till regular arrangements for the office of the governor of that state is made. Samajwadi Party chief Mulayam Singh Yadav laid the foundation stone of the Agra-Lucknow Expressway. It will be the Uttar Pradesh government's most ambitious project till date. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav, who is heading the project, said that farmers and small industries will benefit from it. Well, we'll take a very short break here. Stay with us for more. Welcome back. After the break, let's move on in the bulletin now. In an attempt to address the issue of farmer suicides in Telangana and Maharashtra, the Textile Ministry is taking steps to not only improve the prices for cotton farmers, but is also planning to increase the number of purchasing centres. Textile Minister Santosh Ganguvar has assured that these measures will take place over the next 2 months.
Cotton farmers will be relieved by the Textile Minister's announcement to increase buying centres. Farmers can now sell directly at 118 centres instead of the current 70 at minimum support prices fixed by the government.
हमने ये भी सबको पत्र लिखा है, सारे एमपीज़ को लिखा है कि आप इसको मॉनिटर करिए और कोई सुझाव हमें बताइए और अगर और सेंटर खोलने तो हम तैयार हैं.
Lack of adequate purchase centres forced farmers to sell cotton at cheaper prices to private traders. In the last 2 months, untimely payments reportedly led to over 350 farmer suicides in Telangana and Maharashtra.
तेलंगाना में अभी 350 तक फार्मर्स गुजर गया है. ये उसके लिए एक्सपेंडिचर ज़्यादा है. ये सपोर्टिंग का प्राइसेस में वो बेचने के है थोड़ा तकलीफ हो रहा है. ये तकलीफ निपटना बोले तो उसका सिस्टम थोड़ा चेंजेस करना बोल के हम रिक्वेस्ट किया.
North Indian farmers also have the same complaint and are seeking government intervention on pricing as well.
आज डीजल, खाद, पेस्टिसाइड और लेबर का इतना खर्चा है कि 4,000 रुपये जो कुंटल का आज हमें मिल रहा है उसमें किसान को बहुत भारी लॉस है.
भाई सभी से जानकारी करके चलो मैंने मेरी उपज बढ़ा ली है, पर जो कुछ ज़मींदार ऐसे हैं जिनकी ईल्ड भी तो इतनी बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं आई और ऊपर से ये जो अपना भाव है सरकार का उसका भी बहुत बुरा प्रभाव पड़ गया है. क्योंकि जो पहले अपने जो कॉटन थी 5500 रुपये या पिछले साल 5600 रुपये थी, जो इस बार बिल्कुल भी घट के अब 3839 रुपये के हिसाब से बिक रही है.
The support price issue figured on various textile ministry meetings with the commerce, agriculture and labour ministers earlier this week. The government is expecting 4 lakh ton bales this time, which will add to the government's financial burden.
2008-9 के बाद अब इस वर्ष ये समस्या सामने नजर आ रही है. उत्पादन ज़्यादा होने के कारण और चीन ने अपनी नीति में बदलाव करने के कारण कुछ समस्या हम लोगों के सामने आ रही है.
Experts feel the decision to increase the centres will stabilize cotton trade at a time when China has decided to end Indian cotton imports. The textile minister has called for national level consultations with farmer and mill owners later this month. The government is also likely to come up with a new pricing formula by December. Rajkamal Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And in some international news, the possibility of a deal over Iran's nuclear program seems remote ahead of its Monday deadline. Now, despite the US and Germany working hard to close the gaps, Iran on Sunday expressed pessimism on reaching a comprehensive deal. With major differences persisting, the possibility of extending the deadline for more talks seems likely. A day before the deadline, the deal on Iran's nuclear program seemed to be heading for a stalemate. A member of Iran's negotiating team said on Sunday that it would be impossible to reach a comprehensive deal with world powers. On Saturday, US Secretary of State John Kerry said serious gaps existed between the two sides.
We hope we're making careful progress, but we have big gaps. We still have some serious gaps, which we're working to close. The good thing is the P5+1 are united and working in concert.
Darf ich, glaube ich, sagen, wir waren nie näher als im Augenblick und die Verhandlungsatmosphäre ist durchaus konstruktiv. Nur das darf nicht darüber hinwegtäuschen, dass wir in vielen Fragen eben noch weit auseinander sind und
Iran started the final round of talks with P5+1 nations on Tuesday. The US, Britain, France, Germany, Russia and China are looking to clinch a pact under which Tehran would curb its nuclear work in exchange for lifting economically crippling sanctions. Iran has rejected allegations that it is seeking to develop nuclear bomb capability. However, Israel on Sunday insisted that no deal was better than a bad deal.
אמש עדכן אותי מזכיר המדינה קרי במצב שיחות הגרעין עם איראן. אנחנו עוקבים בדריכות ובדאגה אחר התפתחות שיחות אלה. אנחנו במעקב צמוד.
The sticking point for Iran is the Western effort to make it scale back its nuclear program for nearly a decade. Despite an interim agreement in 2013, the two sides failed to reach a lasting deal by July as initially agreed and extended the deadline to 24th of November. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And Kenya has stepped up security a day after terrorist strife left at least 28 people dead. Deputy President of Kenya, William Ruto, asked all the security departments to find the killers as fast as they can. On Saturday, Al-Shabaab gunmen attacked the bus in northern Kenya, targeting non-Muslim passengers. A senior advisor of Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta has said that the attack was an attempt to start religious strife in the country.
I want to assure the people and the residents of Mandera that security will be enhanced and that more officers will be deployed in that particular area.
Let us now get you all the other international news and updates in our special segment, Global Buzz. In a special session on Sunday, the lower house of the Afghan parliament approved a security agreement to allow the United States and NATO troops to remain in the war-torn country beyond 31st of December. The agreements still need to be ratified by the Afghan upper house. Sunday's approval comes a day after US officials said that their troops will still be able to target the Taliban in 2015. Tunisians voted in the country's first presidential elections since 2011 Arab Spring that triggered uprisings across the region. More than 25 candidates are in the race, with incumbent Monsef Marzouki and anti-Islamist leader Beji Bessi seen as the favourites. Now, if no candidate wins more than 50% of the vote, a runoff round will be held on 31st of December. A strong earthquake on Saturday, measuring 5.9 on the Richter scale, killed at least 4 and injured at least 54 people in the Kanding region in the western China's Sichuan province. In neighbouring Japan, 39 people were reported injured and 39 homes destroyed after a 6.7 magnitude earthquake struck villages in central Japan on Sunday. Snowfall in the northeast US is subsiding. However, there is an imminent threat of flooding as the snow melts. Warm temperatures and rain were forecast for the weekend in Buffalo and western New York, bringing the threat of widespread flooding to the region. At least 13 people have died due to inclement weather. That's all in this edition of News Tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.